Welcome back, sugar dumplings. This is a video, Girl World adjacent. I'm going to be talking about or reacting to a video by Nadine Nymph about Tess Holiday. No, modeling doesn't make you a good person, Tess Holiday. TikTok cringe. She's reacting or sort of presenting Tess Holiday's TikToks, which if you watched any of them, she's very self-righteous. If you don't know who Tess Holiday is, she is a plus-size model who was signed to a big agency in London, I believe, and she declared she's a size 24, 26 at the time. Fun fact for anybody watching this, I met this horrible creature of a human being when I lived in Los Angeles. She's not a very nice person. Also, another fun fact, I used to model, so I know people who know people who know her. I actually know people who know her directly, actually. And she is just a complete psychopath, not very nice. Just, like, she's kind of terrible. When I met her, she was just, like, not nice. And she kind of ignored me, and I worked at the Hollywood Bowl as a bartender, so it was like, a lot of these fat acceptance people are just total dickheads. They're just not the nicest people ever. Like, just self-entitled, just mean. I don't even know what else to say. I've met other people too who are like fat acceptance adjacent people who are well known in the community and are always getting like their fair share of criticism for what they say. And on top of that, they're just terrible people and treat other people like crap. So I started watching this video, and then I was like, I should react to this because I know her. I've never worked with her, thank God, because I've heard some stories. But let's get into the video, and I'll share a couple.
People that love money and people that love people. And you have to decide which kind of person you are. I'm a goddamn supermodel.
Welcome back. My name is Nadia. Today we are going to dig into some of Tess Holiday's recent virtue signaling on TikTok.
It's funny that she says people who love money and people who love people. Obviously, Tess, you're the type that loves money. Because you definitely don't like no people. You are a narcissist. You love yourself. And she had a whole movement. She had, the other thing, how did I forget this? She had a whole movement, where she had her own, slogan, and she had sold t-shirts and she did all this thing. Fun fact, bought a t-shirt of hers and never received it. And it's been like 6 years. And there's a whole list of people who've never received her t-shirt. F Your Beauty Standards t-shirt, that was her slogan. She sold this t-shirt all around town. She actually contacted me because she had posted on Facebook, this is how long ago it was, that if anybody was interested in a shirt, just leave a message below. And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. She like direct messaged me. I was like, hey, I saw you were interested. Here's the link. I was like, cool, thanks. And I bought the shirt and then didn't hear back. I think the shirt was like $30. Yeah, I never got the shirt. Yeah, she's a terrible business owner. Her excuse about the shirts, because there was a lot of people who didn't get the shirts, was that she felt very overwhelmed. And then she said she hired a company to send out shirts to everybody. I never got my shirt. I'm still waiting for my shirt. Actually, at this point, I don't even want that shirt because she's just terrible and just, oh God, she's just the worst.
It is so hard to have principles and integrity in an industry.
You don't have that.
It is so hard because so much money is thrown at you. And I just wanted to give you an example of something that I had a mentor tell me.
I don't think she's speaking from experience.
No, she's not. She's not. She had like her time of fame, and she worked for H&M and she worked for all these other people. But she kind of pissed it away because her personality is shit. I worked with a photographer and a makeup artist who worked with her. The photographer was just like, do I want to tell the story? Yeah, I'm going to tell the story. So the photographer talked about a time where they had a shoot, or maybe this didn't happen to her directly, but there was a shoot where a makeup artist, and if you've ever done a real glamorous makeup shoot with all the trimmings, glamorous clothes, stylist, hair and makeup can be hours. You know, it takes some people hours to do makeup. So this woman, this makeup artist, did her makeup and her hair, and I think it was for a print ad, maybe for a test shoot, who knows. And after she did all that work, Tess didn't like it. She took all the makeup off and she did it herself. After doing all that work, that girl, she took off the makeup, said some mean stuff to the makeup artist, and the makeup artist went off and cried somewhere in a corner, allegedly. Obviously, these stories that I've heard are alleged. I wasn't there to prove it, so don't come for me. These are stories that are told to me from people who were in the industry that had to interact with her. And other people just say that another person said to me that she is just moody. Something's not right with her mentally. Yeah, she's just not a kind person. So, yeah.
She believes that she is, but this is a woman who did an entire press tour claiming to be diagnosed with a restrictive eating disorder.
You don't have to believe me, but do you really think that the medical community and nutritionists and all of the experts that they interview when they also interview me that agree with me, do you think that they're all lying?
Who agreed with you? This whole anorexia, I don't know if I could say it, was so egregious. Her going on a press tour to tell people that she had this was insane. I don't know what possessed her to think that that was okay. And she has like a publicist and PR people. Did no one like stop to say, hey, you know what? I don't think this is a good idea. Was it just like, oh, you know what? This is great. We'll get attention to ourselves. I thought this was so disgusting and so disrespectful for people who have actual EDs. I mean, she obviously has an ED of overconsumption, of binge eating disorder, maybe. I mean, binge eating disorder is tossed around a lot when someone's plus size or obese like her. But to take another disorder and just like make press on it and sort of mock people with it in a way, in my eyes, I just found it so disgusting. It was just, oh, I couldn't.
When Tess first started doing interviews, she actually used to open up about her emotional eating and how that impacted her weight gain. And she was dealing with a lot, to be fair. We're going to talk about that a bit later, but that's a pretty believable backstory for her. I think only people who want to believe that Tess Holiday has a restrictive eating actually believe that.
So just remember how absolutely batshit crazy you sound saying this, because I'm right, you're wrong.
She wants to be the face of...
It's just like, it's crazy to think that she's kind of mocking people who are like, no, that can't be you. You obviously overeat. You're ginormous, right? And just be a complete dickhead about it. Like, there's no other ways to describe it. Yeah, she's a lot.
This restrictive eating, while also selling merch referring to herself as Lana Del Rating the Fridge.
You guys have been asking for this for so long, and I finally delivered Lana Del Rating the Fridge, one of my favorite designs.
And despite her anti-diet persona, one of the first jobs she accepted was to be the face of a show that she wasn't actually on that focused on weight loss. Losing is their only hope. That's what this image says. But sure, teach us about integrity, Tess Holiday.
So years and years ago, one of my first clients, and I was still working at a dental office at the time. I was working front desk reception, and I was modeling as well, and my career was really starting to take off, and I was also at the dentist office, and I was having...
Fun fact about Tess, when she first started modeling, before she kind of veered into, she got that heavy print ad, and she also did other stuff. Prior to that, she was doing fetishing modeling. She was doing a lot of what this is how it attaches to the girl world. She was doing like fat girl fetish modeling. I don't know if it's still online. You can probably find it if you put Tess Holiday fetish model. Actually, her name back then was Tess Munster, like the Munsters, the show. So if you look up Tess Munster fetish modeling, you could probably find those images. That's how she started off. And then she kind of got someone's attention and signed with an agency. She kind of veered into more legitimacy. But prior to that, she was doing fetish stuff. So it's kind of funny to me to see how much she's changed in this time. Because it was like, yeah, you know, when you first started, that stuff was kind of risque. But anyway, continue.
Hard time juggling both of them. So my client at the time was this guy named Jeff, and he ran a brand called Orchard Corset.
On the screen right now are some pictures from the Orchard Corset photo shoot she's referencing here. And she basically just goes on to say what an amazing experience she had.
And, you know, I had an amazing time, and I came back, and the dentist I was working for basically told me, like, you have to make a choice. Like, you can't keep leaving the dental office to do modeling jobs. And I felt really torn because I loved the dentist office I was at, but I also wanted to take a risk and try modeling full time.
So you can't really model full time as a plus size model. I don't think you can model full time as a straight model. Just for an instance of how they pay you, modeling jobs and acting jobs, you have to audition, you have to put a lot of work into it. In between that's time you have to work odd jobs. A lot of people, if you noticed, a lot of people who are famous are born rich or have connections or already were in the industry as a very young age because some sort of leverage where they didn't have to go to these like shit jobs like going to a dentist or waitressing, or I used to cater, I used to babysit, I used to clean houses, you know, because modeling, especially in an industry like Los Angeles or New York, where that's where you'll get the work, there's so many other people competing for the same jobs. So, you know, it's almost never viable to just quit your job unless you're really doing well, because you just never know where it'd take you. But yeah, no, dental work, interesting.
I was scared.
I'm sorry, this feels a lot less dramatic than she is trying to make it seem. And it also seems worth noting that she is trying to relate her experience to someone who just turned down a $60 million brand deal.
I am just sitting in bed, scrolling before I take a shower, and a video came up of Kai Cenat talking about how he turned down $60 million, $50 million, and how he learned that not all money is good money. And it's something that I wanted to just share a little bit of because it is so hard to have principles and integrity in an industry.
Truly, I think if you...
Girl, this is why I'm not on TikTok. Because I would just laugh at her. I would just troll her. Like, she is... I will say I love her Miss Piggy tattoo. This is from the Cosmo cover. I actually bought that magazine because back then I actually liked her a lot, and then I got to know more about her, and then I had that horrendous experience with her at the Hollywood Bowl that I was like, oh no. He was a bitch. He was a nasty bitch. It's not what a lot of people want to get into modeling, and it's not what it seems, you know. I think that shows like America's Next Top Model really ruined it for people because it became such a status to be a model or an actor, whatever. The media portrays it like this glamorous life, but a lot of those people are broke. Like, a lot of actors are completely broke. Models, people can't, you know, musicians, like, a lot of people are broke because they don't make that much money. Another perfect example is I did a print ad couple of years ago for a well-known gym, and I was pretty new to the industry, and I was in, they had images of me in Times Square, they had images of me in their gym, they were sending out flyers in the mail, people would send me pictures like, look at you. There was all sorts of media and people, I was visible, right? This is a while back. And I got paid for that job that was like media, print ad, all stuff, $600. And the only reason I'm telling you $600 And you might be like, oh, $600 is good money. Not when they have you signed to something for 18 months, 2 years, and $600 is the flat rate that you got. And you may be like, well, you knew what you were getting into. Not really, not necessarily. I was just hungry to work. You know, I've learned that that was really, really like egregious in terms of payment, because I appeared in not only print ads, like if it was just print, that makes sense, but video form at their gyms and on commercials and stuff, I was supposed to get paid a lot more. But because I was non-union and I didn't know any better, I think I may have gotten this job without an agent. Like I submitted it on one of the casting forums, so I had no one to tell me that $600 was garbage, you know. And a lot of you would be like, oh, money is experience, blah blah. Yeah, I mean, sure, exposure, if you want to talk about that. Yeah, so totally. But after a while, it's just like, how many times can you do something for exposure before you're like, all right, you need to pay me. You got to pay me the right amount. And that's my opinion. And you can write down, you can say whatever you want in the comments, of course. That's just how I feel. I think that if you are going into modeling or into acting, don't quit your day job yet. You got to do a lot of test shoots and work on your book and your digitals and stuff before you do anything. Learn how to walk runway shows and make sure your skin's clean, your teeth are good, and you have a good portfolio. And that costs a pretty penny right there. So you have to invest. So anyway.
Offered Tess a $60 million deal, she would betray everyone and everything that mattered to her.
Absolutely.
If that's what it took. I don't like talking about people like this. I generally try to see the best in people. She makes it so hard.
I know. And I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And I called basically Jeff, my mentor. He became my mentor. And I called him and I said, I explained to him.
Let's fast forward to something.
Okay. Can put a price on.
I have no idea how she thinks that this story communicates that she is a person of value or principles. Leaving your job as a receptionist to pursue your dreams of being a supermodel is...
Yeah, so I a lot of the other thing that was noted to me about her is that she's a big liar. Surprise, surprise. This is probably why I was like, this is like Girl World adjacent. She's a big liar. She's lied about a lot of things. I don't even think she was a size 22. I thought she was a lot bigger. She looked like a size 26. But what do I know? And she's not that tall. She's kind of shorty. So she's definitely like a 26, 28. So that's a lie right there. She got really lucky and then she just pissed off a lot of people, and that's what happened to her, basically.
It's not the philanthropy she thinks it is, and in no way is the same as turning down a $60 million deal to stand by your values. And I'm gonna follow this with a clip of her complaining about the modeling industry from the parking lot of a burger joint.
I'm sorry, but what in the fresh hell is this? Fashion gets real.
If you can't see the screen right now, the Fresh Hell is a digital magazine cover. There are 7 models on it. They're all wearing some kind of jeans and white top, and they are all thin.
Yeah, that's what modeling's about, see? Skinny bitches. Like, skinny bitches that are not realistic. They're supposed to look like mannequins. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Yeah, I'm a fat girl. I modeled. But I know, you know, if I were to get on Vogue, that'd be amazing. But I don't think I will. Like, Vogue doesn't even put like models on the cover anymore. They put like celebrities. So this is a digital copy, meaning it was online. Okay, what's the problem?
Activity for everyone. Isn't everyone so creative? I just want to know if the creativity is in the room with us.
Creativity for all actually seems to be a reference to the fact that these models are dressed from pieces that range from $7 to $1,000. The point is supposed to be about how the worlds of luxury fashion and affordable fashion are beginning to collide.
Allegedly.
So this actually is about accessibility and inclusion even.
It would be Tess missing the whole point of the magazine cover, but okay, go on, Queen. I'm not going to watch any more of this. I think that it's, what is it, 13 minutes? You can go watch the original video. I will link it below. I've been wanting to talk about Tess for a while because she kind of disappeared, and not because she wanted to. I think because the industry is tired of her shit. She's not nice to people. She's not nice to, like, I'm not saying that you got to be like overtly sweet and just like sugarcoatingly nice to people, but have some decency and have some manners. Like, you don't need to be nasty to people. And that, you know, and I understand that women in the industry, which is modeling, music, and acting, get bad reps and are called difficult because they don't agree with everything. That's not what I'm talking about. That's messed up in its own. Like, when you stand up for yourself, being called difficult is kind of egregious. I'm talking about having common decency and treating people like, I don't know, like human beings, and not some like peasants that come and do your makeup. My other issue with her, and I think it was Michelle McDaniels that pointed this out, and I thought it was ingenious. There was like a whole movement back in the day when these fitness people were kind of going after these fat acceptance people, and Michelle McDaniels was one of the bigger ones. I think she still does it. I haven't watched her in a while. And she spoke about Tess's F your beauty standards slogan. She's like, interesting. And then she showed her like getting Botox. Interesting how you get Botox and you're all about fashion and all these things. It's F your beauty standards, except that one, right? She's the one beauty standard she doesn't kind of participate in is losing weight and being skinny. And I was like, oh, wow, that's true. Like, she does Botox, she gets her hair done, she does makeup, she fashion, all that other stuff. But losing weight, no, not for me. And there was a period a couple months ago, or probably a year ago, I don't know, I don't keep up with Tess like that, where she was trying to lose weight and talked about being healthy. It's just so weird. It's just so many of these girls, these cycles, like, girl, go get a therapist. That's all that would help you right now, you know? Yeah, so I want to thank this creator for making this video and getting me to talk about this, because I've been wanting to talk about it and I didn't know how or why or which way to kind of address it. And then I stumbled upon this video and I thought, oh, perfect timing. This is exactly what I wanted to talk about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've heard of Tess Holiday, Tessmunster, like her old name used to be. Yeah, let me know what you think. And as always, stay sassy.